Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard, Cisneros at your service. Today I'll be reading the June 29th Daily Inspirational Message, the condensed version. It's 2 paragraphs long. Then I'll center myself, say a little prayer, and make a couple comments on the message. And if you find the message of use, please be so kind as to like the video. Thank you for that. Here we go. The title: Making the Conscious Choice to Use Free Will. Paragraph 1. Today, let us use free will to remind us that we have a lot more control over how we choose to view our experiences than we have been taught to believe. For example, if we wish to be more forgiving, then today let us use free will to decide that when the ego demands judgment, we will instead forgive. Before each interaction, let us remind ourselves, in quotes, today when the ego demands I judge, I will remind myself that thanks to free will, I can choose forgiveness to be my constant companion. Forgiveness is my goal for this and every interaction, end quote. By clarifying our goal before our interactions, we become proactive instead of reactive. By being and remaining proactive, we remind ourselves that we, not the ego or its programs, are in control of our thoughts, words, actions, and reactions. Pardon me. Paragraph 2. Today, let us become aware that there is who in truth we are and who we have been programmed to be. When we're being who in truth we are, the love that God is, we are free to be the loving beings that we were created to be. When we're being who we have been programmed to be, we are held captive within the ego's judgment-centric, fear-based mindset. When we are using the ego's mindset, we are like zombies, unconsciously following the ego's path, its past programs, patterns, and false concepts. This is when the ego is living our life for us, and thus why we feel a lack of balance, freedom, and fulfillment. Once we start to notice that giving our life away to the ego to live for us is not truly living, we will look for a better way. This better way invites us, through free will, to let go of what we know is not working for us and to make the conscious choices that are in alignment with our loving nature. Right. Making the conscious choice to use free will. Okay. I'm going to make 5 points today that I trust will assist us in the implementation of this daily inspiration. Point number 1, free will. How do we want to spend our free will? Okay, we're here to be a light in this world, right? 2 ways to be a light is through the act of peace, by being a reflection of peace, or being a reflection of joy. So today, let us use our free will to think thoughts that bring joy to our heart and peace to our minds. Okay? So today we make the choice, the conscious decision through free will to only entertain thoughts that bring peace to our mind and joy to our hearts. Everything else we discard. We forgive or discard because it's not in alignment with our choice today, which is to be the light of the world, and today we do that through peace and joy. Peace in the mind, joy in the heart. And only supporting those thoughts that support this as true, that help reflect this light into the world, not the darkness, not the ego's judgment-centric, fear-based thoughts. Okay, so that's point number 1. We choose the thoughts that will reflect the energies that we want to share in the world today. Peace and joy through free will. Point number 2. Let us remember that when we're not supporting thoughts that are in alignment with who we want to be today, then it is not the truth in us who is thinking for us. It is our past programming. It is the ego's mindsets and tools. And so if the ego's mindsets and tools are in control of our minds and hearts, then we don't have peace in our minds and we don't have joy in our hearts. So if any thought is taking away your peace or joy, know that that's not the truth in you who's thinking for you. And so just remind yourself, okay, that thought, whatever that thought is, It could be judgment, anger, resentment, guilt, shame, fear, anxiousness, doubt, any of those thoughts. If any of those thoughts have control over your thinking, then you're not experiencing peace of mind or joy in your heart. And so let us remember, we control our thoughts. Our thoughts should not be controlling us. And we control our thoughts when they're in alignment with God, with love, and love's expressions such as peace and joy. It is when we're out of alignment with peace and joy that our thoughts are controlling us. Okay, so in point number 2, we control our thoughts don't control us. Point number 3, let us remember, because we control our thoughts, we can place whatever lens we want that we view this world through. If we decide to put the lens of peace and joy to make our lens that we see this world through, then we will experience peace and joy. And we will support the thoughts, the words, the emotions, the actions that support peace and joy, because we're viewing the world through the lens of peace and joy. We're making that our decision today through free will. Now, if we choose another lens, the lens of judgment or anger or resentment or pain, then we're going to see a different world. But let us remember in point number 3 that we have the choice of which lens to view this world through. In the end, we define our experience. Whatever that experience, whatever the ego says that experience is, we define it. It's not what's happening out there. It's how we define what's happening out there that affects us. So if we decide to view this world through love's lens, which is peace, joy, compassion, charity, understanding, grace, if we choose to see the world through that lens, then we're fulfilling our function. We're using our free will to be that peace and joy in this world. But, when we are asleep to our free will and the ego takes control, it can place its own lens and we can see a whole different world out there, because we're defining it through judgment and through fear instead of through joy, peace, and love. So that's point number 3. You choose the lens you see the world through. It is you who define your experience. So it's you that you need to look to when you have peace of mind or pain. Okay, point number 4. Let us be proactive instead of reactive. This is very useful to help us in achieving the kind of day we want to have. If we want to have a day that fills our hearts with joy and fills our minds with peace, then let peace and joy be our goals for every interaction. Before every interaction, go into it saying, okay, I'm going to use my free will today to be at peace and to be joyous, to share peace with my brothers and sisters, and to show them a way to a place of joy. And so let's say they're stuck in judgment or anger. I'm not gonna dive into that swamp. I'm not gonna swim with little pigs in the mud. I'm just gonna be a center of peace and show them a way to peace. Show them that maybe if they choose forgiveness instead of judgment, they can have peace. If they choose compassion over condemnation, they can have peace. If they choose to trust in the divine design instead of their own ego's ideas of what their journey should look like, they can have peace. So we go in point number 4, we go into every interaction proactively with our decision to be a reflection of peace and joy. No matter what's happening out there, we're peace and joy. No matter what's happening out there in the delusion and the darkness of the ego's mindset and world, we reflect peace and joy. And we show the way to peace and joy to others. That way they can join us and we can increase our peace and joy in this world. So that's point number 4. Be proactive, not reactive. And the last point is one that ego doesn't like, but is one that's very useful today, to remember that you have free will and thus you can achieve a state of peace and joy in every interaction and in every moment, and you can reflect that peace and joy. And that is to thank every single person you interact with, no matter how deep into the darkness they're trying to pull you into. If they want you to judge because they're judging, be angry because they're angry, be resentful because they feel that resentfulness is a proper response to that moment, say, you know what? Thank you. I've traveled those paths enough times to know they don't lead me to peace of mind and joy. And I'm using my free will today to reflect peace of mind and joy into this world, to be the light of the world that God created me to be. And so thank you, individual X or Y, for helping me practice that I do not want this. I don't want the ego's stories, its delusions, its darkness, its fairy tales and lies. They lead me nowhere near the state of peace. So thank you for reminding me that this is not what I want. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to offer this moment and this individual. If you would like to join me, I would love to have you here. If you don't, enjoy your journey. We all get to the state of peace sooner or later. So their journey is perfect for them. Our journey is perfect for us. And today we use our free will to remind ourselves that we're here because God created us to be a light in this world. And so that is what we're going to do through the acts of peace, mind, and joy. By deciding before every interaction that peace of mind and joy are our goals. Okay, thank you very much for your time. I love you very much. If you can be so kind as to like this video, it would help with the listing process, and God willing, we'll see each other tomorrow. Peace.